Do you need to show a lighter side as a manager, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm sure he's got that. Most of the managers, the good managers I've played, have a humorous side and an ability to communicate at different stages, depending on whether it's, sometimes you need to have a laugh with your gaffer. You can't always be too serious. It becomes a bit intense. But I'm sure he's been around a while, hasn't he? I mean, a lot of players speak really well of him, so I can't see him being serious all the time. On the training pitch, yeah, I get. But I reckon away from it, he's going to have you'd hope he'd have a warmer, more charismatic, caring side.
What did you think the most interesting thing that Joel Veltman told you during that interview?
I think what he was saying about Martinez, because obviously his lack of height has been debated a lot. Rio Ferdinand, I think, was the first to bring it to the public attention. He's trapped back a little bit, but the fact of the matter is that you tell me you're taller than Lisandro Martinez, and that worries me because we've never met anybody who you're taller than.
I'm taller than Danny, actually. We just stood up next to each other.
But he was saying there that he's got the character, he's got the physicality, he's not afraid of a battle. So I was quite encouraged by that. I think the fascinating thing when it comes to Martinez, and Danny was asking during that interview, where will he play for Manchester United? Because Ten Hag has come out and said that Maguire is keeping the armband, so therefore he starts. I think Varane, we haven't seen it enough, but there is a world-class player there, so if he's fit, you would expect him to start. So does Martinez then slot in as a defensive midfielder, which is an area that Manchester United are lagging behind just about every top club in Europe. They're the only top European team who haven't really got that shield in front of the back four.
Is he going to play there if Frankie de Jong comes in and plays at the base of the midfield? Or is that going to work? Or is he going to play as a centre-half, do you think?
He can play as a left-back as well.
They've just signed a left back, haven't they?
Yeah, but I think he's one for the future, isn't he? I'm not sure that he's necessarily going to go straight in
also
and
still
start
got
week
Luke
in, week
Shaw.
out.
I think one thing for sure, if you're spending that type of money on a player you've worked with, he plays.
Yeah, so they've obviously got a plan for him. We just don't know what it is yet. It'd be interesting to see what it is, because if he is playing as a centre-half, to be as small as he is, and let's not make any bones about it, he's 1.75 m, which is quite short, isn't it? It's 5'9". For a centre-half, the fact is that there have been players that have done it. Mascherano played there in the Barcelona team. Yeah. He was 1.74, which is even shorter than Martinez. And Fabio Cannavaro, 1.76.
He was a wonderful player. I think today's game, more than ever, is about brains, good positional play. I mean, if you think of one of the biggest centre-halves, most powerful in Van Dijk, how often do you see him fighting people?
I mean, he strolls through games, doesn't he?
I think there is a need on set plays in the Premier League to be powerful and actually have a good group in the side, a good core of 6-foot+ players who can head the ball. So you would ideally want your centre half to be one of them. But if he's a leader, if he's technically very, very good, if he's an organiser, if the rest of his game is spot on, and he was, look, we have to go on players who know him better. And Veltman was saying he can leap. Tim Cahill wasn't the biggest.
Chicharito, decent in the air as well.
But on set plays, Cahill was just the best in the business. So we'll wait and see. But I think you have to admire the club for backing the manager and getting the players he wants.
Well, what's fascinating, and just to pick up on what Danny was saying there, the scouting department of United actually recommended Pau Torres of Villarreal as the left-sided centre-back, and he said, no, I want this guy.
Yeah, what do you make of him? Because I like Pau Torres. I mean, he's been at Villarreal now for a while and playing in the Spanish national team. He's comfortable on the ball. He is a powerful guy. He's a big lad. So I thought that would have been a more obvious signing. Playing at the level he's been at.
I think he may well end up in the Premier League. I know he's on Tottenham's list. I think Manchester City as well, potentially looking at him. Maybe even Chelsea are in the market for just about every decent central defender in Europe. But I think it's interesting that Ten Hag effectively has overruled the United scouting department. Let's be honest, the scouting department haven't done particularly well over recent years.
Did the Manchester United scouting department get fired about 6 weeks before he took over?
Yeah, but this is the new scouting department, I think, that's come in and said, go for Torres. But
does that bode well?
I think you need to back your manager, especially if you're bringing in a manager who's trying to change the playing style, given a relatively short period of time. Because we've got the World Cup, he hasn't got as long to work with the players during pre-season. The Premier League is rapidly approaching. I know people, and when we're going to talk about the quality of players coming into the Premier League from the Eredivisie, but I think it's sensible recruitment. Players that he knows that can,
it's stepping
play
stones,
the way he wants to.
Let's be honest, the Tyrone Malacia signing, he's a Dutch left-back. He's been signed from Feyenoord for 14 million quid. They got Lisandro Martinez, who also played in the Eredivisie. He's going to an area of the world that he knows a lot about, and he's got the measure of them already because he wants them to be able to slot immediately into the team, and he wants to get the best out of them. And this is a squad that does need freshening up.
I think what you are seeing is a type of player that's going to create a possession-based team. This, Martinez is supposed to be a brilliant technician, good footballer. He obviously wants De Jong in, who's a footballer, technician. They've
Eriksen.
got Eriksen, another one, keeps the ball, technician, good on the ball, take it in pressurised situations. So I think we're going to see a possession-based Man United more than we've seen in recent times, playing out from the back.
That doesn't bode well for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, does it?
Well, it doesn't bode well for other people in the midfield as well. But you have to have a balance. I always think it's ideally every team you want to see them play like Manchester City. You know, if you're a fan of United, think, can we be as good as City and do what they do? It's taken a while for them to master that. Pep intensity of his training, the ability to sign ready-made players to come into those positions and do it. Even then, he didn't get it right with some of them. So I think it's going to be a slow burner, because I think he's adamant on how he wants to play and good on him for it. And I think United fans will have to be patient.
If you watched some of the training sessions that they did prior to the Liverpool game, it was interesting to see, actually. He was talking to Wan-Bissaka a lot, trying to get him to do what he was asking him to do, which was get forward, then move into sort of a midfield position, almost like to come in as an extra number 8, a bit like Cancelo does. And then he was hug the touchline, get some width, and he wasn't capable of doing that, Wan-Bissaka. And Diogo Dalot ended last season as the first choice right back. It'd be interesting to see whether or not he is the first choice right back this season as well, because Manchester United, for all of the money that they have spent on that back line, actually, it's probably a back four that needs tearing up in its entirety.
I was going to say, I think they'll probably bring in a right back. I would imagine that will be their next target. You've got the Ronaldo situation that we'll talk about in the transfer notebook later.
Right backs.
Well, someone's going to have to go.
They might end up selling one, mightn't they?
Yeah, but
Diogo Dalot was wanted by Real Madrid this time last year.
For example, if you want him out the door and he costs 50, you're not going to let him go dirt. You need a taker, don't you?
And for that reason, I think Dalot probably is more likely to be the full guy, because they're not going to get back the money for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I know, despite what Sam was saying there, Ten Hag has been quite impressed with the attitude that Wan-Bissaka has shown. He returned to pre-season training early, so I think he's got more of a chance of being part of the furniture than Dalot next season.
I think the biggest thing for Man U, any manager's you've got to give them a bit of time to put their tactics into play and get their message across. But the biggest thing is going to be, they need to work out what the hell's going on with Ronaldo and get that done.
And they also need to know, I suppose, who's going to play up front if he's not available.
Correct.
Because
they'll have to bring someone in.
Martial's done well so far. It's only pre-season, but again,
hold on a second. Weren't you absolutely volunteering to drive him to Seville?
He's a talent, but he's not the answer.
No, but they're going to have to find a way to use him, I think, because clubs aren't queuing up.
The biggest issue actually is that there's not many those world-class or decent level number 9s doing the rounds, which is why Chelsea have struggled to fill their gap, which is why West Ham have struggled to fill a gap over the course of the last couple of years. They've been searching for a 9 to play or to challenge Mikel Antonio. It's why Harry Kane is, so sought after. There is a dearth of number 9s because people haven't been playing that way.
Just talking the way you are, Man United struggling to find a number 9. Come on.
Well, who is available for them to go and chase?
They could have just got Lewandowski done.
Lewandowski was only ever going to Barcelona. Chelsea inquired.
Okay, fine. But there's lots of strikers out there who scored 20 goals last season who they could try and get.
Like who?
Well, I'd have to get the list of the people who've scored 20 goals plus, but they are out there.
I think there is a genuine dearth of number 9s, and there's definitely a genuine dearth of takers for Martial.
Isn't the fact that Darwin Nunez was 22 years of age, had one really good season in the Portuguese League.
He's looked brilliant in pre-season.
Straight away, Liverpool have gone and taken him. Sort of underline the fact that there's not that many of that type of striker around.
I suppose, actually, look, deviating from the actual topic we're just talking about, United maybe didn't anticipate the Ronaldo situation. We're talking about them being able to go out and get a striker. Maybe their intention was not to get one because they got Ronaldo.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.